I have had the same nightmare for 30 years. Maybe the word nightmare is too strong. Call it a disturbing dream that reoccurs at odd intervals. Sometimes years apart, sometimes twice in the same week. The basic dream is this. I'm standing on a point of land, and all around me is the gently rolling sea. The sky is blue as the ocean, and dotted here and there with puffy cumulus clouds, and I'm looking up in fear. Directly above me, in a flash of fire and sunlit metal, something has exploded. There is no sound, not just yet, just the silent arcs of black metal with white tails spinning out from behind, falling towards this place where I am standing. It is one of those moments of slow motion, as in an accident you see unfolding but are powerless to move fast enough to prevent. In this case, I am paralyzed by the accelerating trajectories of the debris, because even in my dream I know that I cannot run out from under the explosion. Any place I run to is as perilous as where I stand. So I stand, heart pounding, sweating, breathing rapidly, waiting to see if I am hit or spared. I wake into that interval of uncertainty where dreams are as true as the bed and walls around me. Even as I had these dreams, I knew their genealogy, though I did not think of them as Cold War nightmares. As a child growing up among the palmetto scrub and air bases of Florida, I watched a B-36 bomber blow up in midair less than a mile from the schoolyard where I was standing. The roaring gray mass of shadows swooping across the field froze our play. Froze us not because of the noise or the rushing shadow, we were used to that, but because we were children of the last war. We knew our aircraft and we knew this one was too low. The next moment the plane disintegrated in a bright flash, a greasy roll of flame and smoke, a deep rolling concussion. One wing on fire along the jagged edge, where it was ripped from the fuselage, spiraled like a smoking leaf. Falling, drawing out the instant of impact far longer than any equation of acceleration might logically derive. That was in October of 1957, 5 days after the Soviet Union had launched Sputnik, the orbiting exclamation point for an intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM technology, that had been escalating since the first German V-2 had landed on London in September of 1944. In the paranoia and hysteria following the Soviet space coup, the explosion
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
We're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
I'm not a crook. It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
At the tone, the time will be...
I'm not a crook.
Dr. Forrest, dial 118, please. Dr. Forrest, please dial 118.
I'm not a crook.
loading and unloading of passengers only. No parking.
Where we're going, we don't need roads. The 5 years between 1957 and 1962 were the peak years for missile development at Cape Canaveral. In a total of 780 launches, 200 in 1960 alone, something was launched on average every 2.5 days. I watched countless liquid and solid fuel ICBMs spin and veer and then explode over the palmetto dunes of the Cape or out over the blue Atlantic. Those I didn't see personally were played out in black and white on the nightly news, accompanied by Walter Cronkite's voiceover. There were successes, finally, including the suborbital and orbital manned missions of Project Mercury, but they seemed almost anomalous, beside a litany of failures and always a little anticlimactic, coming as they usually did after some more spectacular Soviet space exploit. In October 1962, the full implication of the strategic power of missiles brought the bombers back to the foreground of my consciousness. During those warm nights of the Cuban Missile Crisis, I slept fitfully, hearing even in my sleep the rising whine of full power of multiple jet engines thrusting one bomber after another into the air, as every base in Florida stood at full alert. The sky was full of bombers circulating in the stratosphere. At school we learned to duck and cover beneath our desks. We rehearsed evacuation routes. Our parents read Pat Frank's Alas, Babylon, The Noble Shoots on the beach. Even nature reminded us, if we knew where to look, that death came from the sky. From the estuaries there were osprey, pelicans, and other shorebirds with folded wings falling upon fish swimming too close to the surface. After the crisis passed and the air bases came off full alert, there was a residual echo that I would hear on and off for as long as I lived in Florida. Whenever the wind was right, and in my memory, it was always sometime in March, when the orange blossoms scent the air, if I awoke in the night, I would register at the edge of my consciousness the engine run-up of bombers on the flight line. Clearly, my childhood in Florida was punctuated by the aerial and predacious, and who I am as an adult has a great deal to do with a personal history inextricably linked to the rocket and the world it shaped. This is not to say that all that history was sinister. Gradually, as the United States closed the so-called missile gap, and began to exceed the Russian space spectaculars, we as a nation began to relax and think not of missiles as weapons, but of rockets as transport to the moon and stars. Over the years, my life has taken me away from Central Florida. Men were still going to the moon when I last lived in the town of Indian Harbor Beach. I rode along on the media trajectory of the manned space program throughout the 60s. Cape Canaveral was transformed in the collective mind of the nation from the Joint Long-Range Proving Ground for Tactical Missiles to Spaceport, USA, gateway to the stars.